Really, the other one. The other ones are so.
Hey Otto, did you see they're doing that garage on Main Street finally?
They're what?
Remember the lady that had the garage that was always falling down and she had all,
Oh, yeah.
they're rebuilding it.
Yes, they are.
It's come to reality.
Progress.
It's a good,
Good evening, this is the September 27th meeting of the zoning board of appeals. First up, we have a request for an extension, Augie Gruber, that's appeal number 1658. He's asking for an extension to
December.
October 12th, 2019.
So moved.
second,
Leroy,
aye.
Frank,
Aye?
Mr. Whitmire,
Aye.
and I vote aye, so the appeal has been granted. Okay, I'll read it.
Appeal number 2018-046, Frank Galuzzo, 29 Front Street, South Jamesport, tax map number 692-4.1, RB 80 zoning, for variances and or relief from chapter 301, section 29A1C, where the proposed pool setback is 41.4 feet from the side street line, and minimum required is 60 feet, where the proposed deck setback is 34.42 feet from the side street line, and minimum required is 60 feet. Section 30, where the proposed dwelling side yard setback is 21.67 feet and minimum required is 30 feet, where the proposed dwelling combined side yard is 46.67 feet and minimum required is 65 feet, where the proposed dwelling side yard abutting the side street setback is 25 feet and minimum required is 60 feet.
Mr. Cuddy,
The applicant, Charles Cuddy, 445 Tiffany Avenue, Riverhead, New York. I set forth in the memorandum to the board, I think our position. I think that my client's request for a variance is appropriate. I think it meets all of the standards set forth in 267B of the town law. And I believe that the objectants really were not on point because they were not concerned about the variances, they were mostly concerned about the beach area. And as I've indicated to you, we're sensitive to the concerns they expressed. But I think I won't say more because I think I set it forth in my memo. Thank you.
anyone else to be heard on this matter? Okay.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I move that the appeal of Frank Galuzzo, 29 Front Street, South Jamesport, chapter 301, section 29A1C, where the proposed pool setback is 41.4 feet from the side street line, the minimum required is 60 feet, where the proposed deck setback is 34.42 feet from the side street line, the minimum required is 60 feet. Section 30, where the proposed dwelling side yard setback is 21.67 feet, and the minimum required is 30 feet. Where the proposed dwelling combined side yard is 46.67 feet, and minimum required is 65 feet. Where the proposed dwelling side yard abutting side street setback is 25 feet, and minimum required is 60 feet, be granted in accordance with the applications and sketches with amendments thereto, if any, as filed with the building inspector.
Second.
Mr. Barnes,
Aye.
Mr. Seabrook,
Aye.
Mr. Whitmire,
Aye.
and I vote aye, so the appeal has been granted. And you know the process, Mr. Cuddy. Okay, kiddo.
Good luck.
Appeal number 2018-049, Anjo Prisperkowski, 209 Horton Avenue, Riverhead, 600-81-213 APZ zoning, for variances and or relief from chapter 301, section 39, where the proposed front yard setback is 42.1 feet and the minimum required is 60 feet. The proposed side yard setbacks are 24.3 and 24.9 feet, and the minimum required is 30 feet. The proposed combined side yard is 49.2 feet, and the minimum required is 65 feet. And the proposed rear yard setback is 41.9 feet, and the minimum required is 75 feet.
Mr. Cuddy,
Good evening. I'd like to hand up the tax map if I may.
please.
The last application, the size of the lot was 1.5 acres. This lot is 8,400 square feet, or less than a quarter of an acre. But the remarkable thing is, unfortunately, in the zoning in this town, it's in the APZ zone, so it's an 80,000 square foot requirement. If you look at the tax map, and I marked where this particular lot is, all the lots in that area, the lots across the street, are exactly identical. It's hard to believe that the town has a situation again where we have lots at a quarter acre and we're faced with a 2-acre zone. But nevertheless, I think under these circumstances, this applicant, building a house where there are a number of houses across the street next to him, is certainly not affecting the neighborhood. And there's no environmental harm that comes from building a house in a zone where you can build a house. I think that, again, it's substantial, but it's only substantial because the code was changed in 204. He didn't create it, it's obviously something he knows about, but he doesn't have any choice but to ask this board for a variance because he's building a very modest house. His house is less than 1,500 square feet. And I would think it's appropriate that he get a variance to build in that zone where everybody else has built a similar house.
Any questions from the board?
Is it one story, Mr. Cuddy?
It's gonna be 2 stories.
2 stories?
The base of the house is about 750 square feet.
No decks or anything like that? Just-
No,
It's a very reasonable size compared to the size of the lot. You're not asking for a McMansion there, you know?
How about you, Mr. Barnes, you have any questions on this?
No, it looks fine.
Okay. All right, who's got the reading?
I do. Boy, it's a
Anyone,
cha-
excuse me, anyone else to be heard on this matter? Okay.
It's a challenge. I move that the appeal of Andrew Pirowski, 209 Horton Avenue, Riverhead, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 681-2-13 APZ zoning for variance and or relief from Chapter 301, Section 39, where the proposed front yard setback is 42.1 feet, and the minimum required is 60 feet. Proposed side yard setbacks are 24.3 and 24.9 feet, and the minimum required is 30 feet. Proposed combined side yard is 49.2 feet, and the minimum required is 65 feet. The proposed rear yard setback is 41 feet, 41.9 feet, and the minimum required is 75 feet. Be granted in accordance with the applications and sketches with amendments thereto, if any, as filed with the building inspector.
Second.
Mr. Barnes,
Aye.
Mr. Seabrook,
Aye.
Mr. Whitmire,
Aye.
and I vote aye.
thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cuddy.
Appeal number 2018-048, William Fields, 1049 Osborne Avenue, Riverhead, tax map number 600-10829, BC zoning for a use variance from Chapter 301, Section 92A, where the proposed storage display of new automobiles on vacant parcel for dealership on adjacent property is not a permitted principal use.
Mr. Danowski.
Good evening. This is an application you've previously heard and granted. This is adjacent to the Apple Honda dealership. Earlier, several years ago, the building department referred us to the Zoning Board of Appeals with regard to the question of whether, despite the fact an auto dealership is permitted, whether you needed a structure on the property to allow you to store cars. So it was a interpretation/use variance request. You reviewed the facts that are still existing today and granted the necessary relief. The relief granted, however, at a time limitation, it has expired. The delay to the application has been caused in part by the unfortunate death of Mr. Garston, and some business matters the Lang and Passeri people had with regard to the parcel. They in particular have filed a site plan application. They have preliminary approval, but they haven't gotten final approval for their proposal for an office building. So they joined and consented to the application, and I would ask you just to grant the similar relief that you granted once before.
Anyone on the board have a problem? Any questions? Anyone in the audience have anything to say about this? Let's have a reading.
Is there anybody left in the audience?
Yes,
Oh, there's some people. Okay, I move that appeal of William Fields of, 1049 Osborne Avenue, Suffolk County Tax Map number 10829 in the BC zoning district for a use variance from chapter 301, section 92A, where the proposed storage display of new automobiles on vacant parcel for dealership on the adjacent property is not permitted principal use, be approved in accordance with the applications and sketches with amendments thereto, if any, as filed with the building inspector.
second?
Hello?
Thank you. Mr. Barnes?
Aye.
Mr. Seabrook?
Aye.
Mr. Whitmire?
Aye.
And I vote aye. So your appeal has been granted, Mr. Danowski, and you know the process.
Thank you very much, have a wonderful evening.
You too. Thank you.
Appeal number 2018-047, Michael Tockman, 682 Sound Shore Road, Riverhead, tax map number 600-7311, RA 40 zoning, for variances and or relief from chapter 301, section 11, where the proposed impervious surface is 22.6% of the total lot area, and the maximum permitted is 15%, and where the proposed deck setback is 14.3 feet, and the minimum required is 20 feet.
If you kindly raise your right hand, you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
If you kindly state your name and your address.
And my name is Linda Preiser, I'm the co-owner of the property. I'm also an attorney, and I guess I'm acting as both tonight.
Well, then I have to swear you in. If I had known you were an attorney, I
Are
wouldn't.
you sure that you really don't swear attorneys in?
Well, some
Very
attorneys we
interesting.
should, but,
Some of
We
the ones
swear
I
at
know,
'em.
you really need to swear them in.
Does it
go
matter?
ahead, you have the field.
You're right.
You have the podium.
I just wanted to say that I hope that I've handed in everything that is necessary, including, 2 letters from, neighbors. One of the letters is from the neighbor who's adjacent to the property, where the setback is that we're, asking for the variance for, and saying that they have no objections to this.
We have the letters. Thank you very much.
Thank you. If there are any other questions?
I think we're,
You have a quaint little cottage, it's very nice.
Excuse me?
It's quaint.
It's cute.
The deck setback is further than the side property with along the garage.
Yes,
Yeah, so,
it is, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I used to approve.
anyone else in the audience to be heard about this? No objections? Okay. Who's got it?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the appeal of Michael Talkman, 682 Sound Shore Road, Riverhead, for variances and or relief from chapter 301, section 11, where the proposed impervious surface is 22.6% of the total area, and the maximum permitted is 15%, and where the proposed deck setback is 14.3 feet, and the minimum required is 20 feet, be granted in accordance with the applications and sketches with amendments thereto, if any, as filed with the building inspector.
Second?
Mr. Barnes?
Aye.
Mr. Seabrook?
Aye?
Mr. Whitmire?
Aye.
And I vote aye. So your appeal has been granted, and about 2 weeks from now, go to the building department, continue on with the process. Best of luck and enjoy your property.
Yep.
You're welcome. Do we hear a motion to accept the minutes of the last meeting?
What about this?
What about what?
111.
Oh, okay, thank you. Let's have the reserved decision on appeal number 2018-38. We'll have that at the next meeting, which is
November 8th.
November 8th.
Oh,
No,
no, I'm sorry,
no.
October 11th.
Wow.
October
I
11th.
jumped ahead. It's
Wow,
October 11th.
are we on vacation?
October what?
11th.
October 11th.
Well, we're going to the meeting and they have to, you know,
Is that a meeting?
Oktoberfest?
we gotta get that, meeting for our
And
credit.
that's over at 7,
No, it starts at,
3.
3 to 9 or something, at the Indigo.
Alright, we'll see.
I already got one room.
I think that's the 25th.
Yeah, I think it's the
That's-
25th.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that's why we don't have a
That's
meeting
when
in
we're
the
gonna work
latter
out.
part of
Okay,
October.
all right.
Anyway. They'll eat out.
Alright, we have a second on this?
Adjournment?
Okay. Mr. Barnes?
Aye.
Mr. Seabrook?
Aye.
Mr. Whitmire?
I vote aye.
And I vote aye, so we'll see those folks next meeting. All right, do I hear a motion to accept the minutes of the last meeting?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.
Well,